so excited, guys. It's finally time. It's finally time. I'm hoping that Daisy Jones is actually going to be on there, but like the first 3 episodes are out and I'm so excited. Waiting for the TV to turn on. It's an optimal angle. This is the way that I should just react. I don't want to explore my memberships. Oh my god, they're 48-minute episodes. I was concerned they were going to be 30-minute episodes, but it's 48. 52 and 50. Oh my god. And it says Daisy Jones is a teenager. We're going all the way back. I'm so excited. The intro was amazing. That was immaculate. It makes me feel like this is a documentary, even though we're going to have like, obviously it's like them going back to show the story, but then it's going to be like proper storytelling, but then they're going to keep coming back in to have ad-libs. I am so excited. And the intro as well is just really cool. Like I like seeing them all in this like camera study way. Like it's very much going to give me like I, Tonya vibes, because they're going to talk about their experiences, but then we're going to see that it's not exactly what they've talked about. Some of the things they've lied about. I cannot wait, and they all look really good for it being 20 years later. I'm excited. I am so incredibly glad that they've chosen to use young actors for the characters, because obviously we had like a really young Daisy and then a teenage Daisy, and now we've got teenage Billy, Graham, Warren, Eddie and definitely Peter's not in here, so the other guy that's here, because there's 5 of them in the band right now, he has to be the one that goes off to Warren Dies. But I like that they're all younger. Like, was this in the book? Because like Billy's the elder brother and they're all the same age that Graham is, because Graham's 14, so they're all young. So I'm assuming Billy's like 16, or he could be 18, because it seems like he might still be at school, but he might have left school. But yes, I appreciate it, because obviously the actors that we have for them currently play the older versions of them, so it wouldn't have worked very well if they played the younger teenage versions and the middle-aged version, so I'm glad about that. Okay, the next scene, they've just slipped in the normal actors for the Dunn brothers' first performance, and they're all in these weird white turtlenecks, and like, Billy, where is your double denim? Wasn't that iconic from the start? What are these outfits? But I like the way that it's like, it's been a couple years maybe, so now they're older, so they get to see all the boys that are going to be there all the time. Like 14 minutes in and like fuck on the drama. Like, I mean, I like that we do have the scene of the father being at the wedding, being a total douche, not even recognizing his sons, only the guitar. And I actually don't think in the book he broke the guitar, but I thought that was very impactful. And then Graham coming in with that solid punch. Like, both of the stories of how all the characters grow up are actually so sad, because like they have the absent father and he left, but then Daisy also has absent parents, even though they're right there. Like, it's interesting the different ways that they just both feel alone. Like, they're so similar. This vlog is already going to be so long, I can tell, but just like, oh my god, when he said that you're all my brothers and we're going to be the biggest band in the world someday, and it's like, fuck yeah, you are. You're gonna do it. You're gonna achieve those dreams. And I like boys supporting boys, even at this time, because it's like the 60s still, so like I'm obsessed. Okay, was she onto the drugs straight away in the book? Because I feel like it took a lot longer for her to like start doing hardcore like heroin and stuff. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's technically heroin what she's doing, but she is snorting things, because I feel like she was like, obviously they showed the innocence and how the rock dude slept with her and she was only a child and stuff, but like she's clearly older. But I just feel like it was after she started to get a bit big for singing that she really started to get more into the drugs and stuff. So I think it's interesting that it's just there from the beginning. Did I miss something, that her name's Margaret? Like, I thought they called her Daisy. I thought Daisy Jones was just like an iconic name that she was born with, but her name's been Margaret this whole time. Am I stupid? I don't know. Like, oh my god, imagine if it was Margaret Jones. Margaret Jones on the 6. What? I should have realized realize this. Was it in the book? Please tell me it wasn't, because it's like I feel really dumb. I don't know how I feel about them changing Billy and Camille's first meeting, because it happened after the wedding, didn't it? When he saw his dad, but then he saw Camille and he's like, hey, I'm gonna marry you, and that's what happened. But now they're meeting in a laundromat and it's the whole, oh, I'm in a band, you don't know who I am, and she's just like, no. And then like Camille does look a lot older in her later interview stuff, and I don't know if that's alluding to the fact that she's sick, because these interviews, even though it's funny because they're sitting there being like, how long is this gonna take? I'm like, 8 years is how long it took to get all the information. Or like, I guess it took 8 years to actually film and put it together and edit the whole entire interview process, but like it took a long time. So I wonder if it is going to do that reveal at the end. I don't know if it will, but I just don't know how I'm feeling about this. But it's nice that people are starting to know the Dune brothers and Billy, because obviously he's the eye candy of the whole band, because that's who everyone is obsessed with. But I don't know if I like them changing this, because like what it originally was would have worked. Oh my god, another change they had at the Chuck was just like, I got into college and I'm gonna be a dentist, instead of him just dying in Vietnam. So that's interesting. But it's also ironic that he's like, bruh, it's a dumb dream. It's like, bitch, you're gonna be rich as all hell, and I hope you feel great when you're cleaning people's teeth. I hope that Billy comes back to him in like 20 years and gets his teeth done and he's like, bitch, you could have been in the band. But now it doesn't have as much meaning, so now I'm questioning why the band gets called the Six. And Karen hasn't come in yet. She will be here soon, but I don't know why they're gonna get called this, because there is still only 5 of them. This was where I thought it was going to happen. I thought it was going to be called the Six, because they lost the dude in the war and they were going to honor him by having him be the unofficial 6th member who didn't make it. But like, why is it going to be called the Six now? I do not know. Okay, we've just met Simone and we've also just met Karen, and I'm really sad that they haven't had the whole moment of Karen, because that was always really funny, and it was great because that was her nickname. And she's just met Graham. I also feel like too that the actor they chose for Graham is quite a lot smaller than I expected him to be, because the way they described it as being like really burly and massive and just like a big hulking man, and he's not really, he's just like a little baby. Oh my god, she said the iconic line, she said it, I am the somebody. Like, yes, absolutely, so glad they put that in, because it is literally one of the most iconic moments from the book. Like, there are so many iconic moments, but it is so true. She's the someone, and she's gonna get on that piano and she's gonna start playing some music, and I think we're finally gonna get an original song, and I'm so excited. Okay, the first episode is watched and the vibes are just immaculate. Like, they've totally gotten the heart of the story in this show, and even though there's things that are different that I will keep mentioning as I film this little vlog series of watching the show. I like that each episode is named after a track from the Aurora album. I think that's where it's going, because this one's called episode 2, track 2, I'll Take You There. So that's what I'm thinking is happening. But Daisy just sang a song on the piano, and I think that's a song that she wrote herself. And I'm wondering if all the other songs they're writing here that aren't on the Aurora album are going to come out on Spotify, because I would probably like to listen to them if I get excited about them. But I definitely want to be a person that listens to every song on Aurora and enjoys them profusely. But I'm so excited for episode 2, and they've got like a talk show host thing happening with Teddy, which is interesting because he's obviously not going to be on the interviews, because we know what happens to Teddy. Okay, I'm really excited because Karen's officially in the band, and I love the whole moment of showing off their first house, because it was a really big thing in the first book about this like rundown crazy house. So when she turns up and it's a complete mess and the boys are just being complete idiots, and then they give her the room of the dead lady that died, that is so funny. But I love that she had really bad first impressions, but then they just really love each other as a band. And Billy's starting to get his look with the double denim. Those turtlenecks confused me, but I'm glad that he has sorted his shit and he's starting to look a lot better. Oh my gosh, we finally understand why the band's called the Six, because Camilla is the 6th one. I never would have thought of that. That's such a good idea, because she technically is always there. And also in the book, was she the photographer and the filmographer? Because I don't remember her talking about that stuff as much, but I like the way that she's in the band, but not. This is going to be really good. But also Daisy just walked past at the restaurant, so she's like, they've interacted semi, like they've been in the same shot, and that is very exciting. Oh my god, Teddy is coming onto the scene now, and he's trying to sign them both up. But I think it's interesting that he was trying to sign Daisy first because he really liked her voice, but then he like wants to help her work on her music. And I'm pretty sure there was a producer that she met before Teddy that then she got locked into that album to do covers and stuff, which she didn't want to film, and then she had to do it, and then she made another album with her own songs. Or was her first album with her own songs with the Six? I'm pretty sure her first album was with the Six. That wasn't the cover album. But I like the way that Billy just happened to find him at the supermarket and then walked over to him and made him give him a card, and then he loved him, so he signed up them and he's going to do an album for the 6, but then he's trying to get Daisy. So I think it's gonna be very interesting when he finally connects that they should actually be a group performance and not separate performers, and I cannot wait. Oh my god, we just got up to the part where Camille announces that she's pregnant, and then they got married, and honestly the vibes of the wedding are exactly how I pictured they would be, and it was so nice. But now they've gone on tour, and like the bit with the interview, everyone's like about it, like Billy's going to F up so much with this, and I'm just really sad to see the whole situation of Camilla having to deal with the fact that her husband has been cheating on her while she's being pregnant. And then we're going to get the rehab section, I'm sure. But also I really liked the bit too that they kept the fact that the only photo from the wedding was the one that had their heads cut off. That was great. Like the whole vibe was so good. But it's gonna get really sad in the next little bit, I think. Honestly, Camilla is just amazing. I just love the whole moment of you can do whatever you want until this baby is born, but then you have to be there for the baby, for me, and you are going to work for this for the rest of your life. Like the way that she is so strong that she's able to come back from what Billy has done. But I also feel like in the show it's impactful, but it's not as impactful as the book, because we got to see a lot more of it from Billy's POV and everyone else's POV. So it was suddenly just kind of like he wasn't answering the phone, and then she ended up walking in on him in the bus and she saw it, but I feel like there wasn't as much emotional connection to the scene, but it was still really, really good. But the performance when he's like falling on the microphone with his like lips, that was hilarious. And now Teddy's here, and it's gotta be to tell him that the baby is born, and then it's gonna be a decision to go to rehab because he needs it. Okay, episode 2 is finished, and oh my god, Teddy at the end. Like I know that he started to see Billy as like a son, and like Billy really started to see Teddy as a father figure because his father was never there for him. But like it was so sweet when he's just like, get the fuck out of the car, and then he's just standing there like, I can't do it, and Teddy's like, oh, come back, I'll take it to rehab. So that's where it's ended. I'm like not crying. I don't know why, I just suddenly have watery eyes right now. I haven't been sad yet. I literally thought I would have cried in the first 10 seconds because I was so excited, but then that didn't happen. I'm excited for the 3rd episode, but I also just double checked and the episodes are not named after the Aurora album, and now I'm sad because there's actually 11 songs on the Aurora album and there's 10 episodes. So obviously they're just calling them track 1, but it's about, I guess, what they're up to in the moment. But I was really dope. I was just like, this is so cool. I've unlocked it. I have unlocked nothing. It's got me, I'm fucking dying. Like when Gray was talking about like Julia smiling and Billy just fucking lost it. I'm just gone. Like I can't. And then when he got to meet the baby and he didn't know what to do, and like she's playing with the baby, and then he comes in and he's just like, oh my god, hi kiddo. And like when the baby started crying, he's like, I don't know what to do. And like he isn't allowed to sleep in the room because their mum's been helping, and like he tried to kiss Camilla and then she's like, no. I'm really sad. Like this is the emotion that I wanted from the initial way that she yells at him, because Camille does forgive him but she doesn't forget what he did. But still, like, I'm so sad about the situation here, but also like, oh my god, like he finally got to meet her. Like she's still tiny and she only missed a little bit, you know. Oh my god. I'm so happy because Billy finally held his daughter. Like how long did it take him to actually hold her? Because I understand that he's like really depressed right now, but also he leaves the band. And did that happen in the book? Because I feel like that didn't, or at least they had a break. But it's funny now because Eddie's like going to try and be the lead singer of the band, so when Billy swoops back in, he's gonna be like, fuck this guy, because Eddie hates him with a passion, and it's one of the funniest storylines. And I understand, but a lot of the time I feel like Eddie's just a bit of a pick-me because he just assumes that he's the best. Like he really thinks that he's the main character and the world centers around him, and it's like, bruh, you just have to deal with the fact that Billy is the reason the band does as well as it does, and then with Daisy it goes worldwide. Like that's how it is. But also I forgot to say, Warren's finally got his signature moustache. But also one of the things I'm really enjoying is when we see his interview pits, he's actually on the boat that he buys later on because he lives on a houseboat. And I just love that subtle detail because you wouldn't know that if you hadn't read the book. And I just think that's amazing. Oh my god, Billy and Daisy are in the same shot and they're about to sing Honeycomb. Like the second that he started singing this to Teddy and then I could hear the beats, I'm just like, oh my god, it's Honeycomb. Like I know it's called Look at Me Now or whatever it is, but it's Honeycomb. And I don't like that we're not getting a scene of him playing it for Camilla first, because he still hasn't written the song for her. And Honeycomb was meant to be that song. But I also feel like the way that Daisy's been brought in doesn't feel like how it happened in the book, but I know that it was in a lull in the band, but I also thought that they were popular enough, but they just brought in Daisy because she was actually going to be like an opening act. So I know that she recorded Honeycomb with them, but I feel like there was a lot more, like, she was a bit more famous because of her album, but like she's come in and no one knows who she is, except she knows Karen because they probably would have seen each other on the strip. But I just feel like there is something that they've definitely tweaked here, but like as a conclusive story it works really well. But I can't help thinking of things in the book, so when something's a little bit different I'm just like, wait, does this change things? But like I'm excited. But Billy is already treating her like shit because he clearly likes her, but he's like, I can't go down this path again, which is true. You need to be a husband and a dad first and foremost. But like, I so ship it. There is honestly something truly magical about hearing Billy and Daisy sing together for the first time. Like, I already know this song because I've listened to it quite a few times, so I already knew the lyrics, but there's just something magical about this moment. But then when she starts the rewrites and Billy's just like, fuck this shit, he's out, he's done. Like, they have the banter and the instant hate of her done so well, and she's just Daisy and he's just Billy. They've seriously cast the show so incredibly well, and I'm absolutely loving it. And I love the way that like no one's liking the new music, so Teddy's paying for this. Like, I feel like Teddy's going to become his own producer. Like, I thought he was his own producer, like he run his own label, but he just works there. So I cannot wait to the point where he's going to just have his own thing and it's going to be amazing. Okay, I feel like Tobias has to be the MVP of the whole show because I like his little accent, and I also like that he's like got this camaraderie with Daisy. So obviously like she hasn't recorded before, but she knows Tobias, or she's actually put the effort in to know Tobias when all the others are like, bro, we're rock stars, we don't know anyone. But I like the bit with the mic rattle and he's just like, you have to share, and he's like, there's no rattle, and he's like, I know. Like, the tension is already there, Teddy, but like, Teddy, why are you pushing this together? Like, it's probably where it starts, and it's like, Teddy, you shouldn't have done this. Oh my god, so I just finished the 3rd episode. I'm so glad I was able to watch it all in one. I've had to boot everyone out of here, so this is literally what I'm going to be doing every Friday so that I can watch it, because I just had a look, and what they're doing is they're releasing the 10 episodes over 4 weeks. So the first week is 3 episodes, the second week is another 3 episodes, and then the third week is 2 episodes, and then the fourth week is 2 episodes. So I like that we're getting a pretty decent chunk, so that's definitely how my videos are going to go, that I will film each segment as it comes out. So obviously this will be my first vlog because I talk about the 3 episodes and my reactions that I felt like filming, and then I will do the next lot and the next lot and the next lot. But I'm so excited. Like, I am absolutely loving the vibe of the show. They are doing such an amazing job bringing it to life, and I liked that they had Taylor Jenkins Reid on as an executive producer, and you can tell that Reese Witherspoon is doing such a good job of actually sticking to the story. So it was in her book club how many years ago when she first did it, and she's made the show. Like, they've just done such an incredible job. Everyone in the cast is amazing, the show is amazing, and just being able to hear one of the songs from Aurora, I am so excited. But this is it for the vlog, and I will definitely see you guys next week when I get to talk about more. What did you guys think of the first 3 episodes? Are there any changes that have annoyed anyone, or is everyone really excited about how things are going? Just let me know that you were here and you enjoyed it. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!